Okay. Okay, so here you can see different teams. Like these are my teams. Same way you would be having your teams. Like for an example, you have W145. Same way for subject of physics, you will have PY141 or 142 something listed here. So whenever you have a lecture of that particular subject at that time, come here and you would be saying something like this. This is currently ongoing meeting. I'll show you some other meeting. Let's say go to Python class. Okay. For an example, this one. Okay. So here you can see whenever I have a meeting, see this is a meeting. So you will see something like this. Jignesh Kumar Patel scheduled a meeting, and then you will say something like this: session 1 Saturday. There would be a date and a clear time would be mentioned over here. So you are requested to join at this time, not earlier than that. Okay, this is the first thing. Then secondly, if you want to join, just you have to click over here and you have to join. Okay, so make sure you join your teams according to this time. That's the first thing. And make sure you are in correct class. For that, you must know what are your timetable, what is your timetable. You must know how to read your timetable. For an example, let me open your timetable here. See, this is a timetable. Okay. So whenever you open any timetable, you will see for what this timetable belongs. Like here it is BTech Division 1, and this is a DepStar. So first, make sure you are looking at the correct timetable. So first, you have to look up for DepStar semester 1, whether it is division 1 or 2. Same way we have division 2 here. So make sure in which division you are and look for that timetable. So this is a division 1, and this is class name. You can see CE1. So division 1 would be basically is a 1, and C is for computer branch. So it is CE1. And then these are your time slots. This is the timing, and this is your subject code, faculty name, and this is your class code. You won't be needing this class code each and every time. Once you join any team, then onwards you won't be needing this. You will be directly saying something like this. For an example, for this subject, you can say EE145 BEEE DCE1. So you can directly join from there. So you won't be needing this for all time. This is just for first class. Okay, so this is the name of faculty, and if you want to see like who is this faculty, actually JRP is the short form, so it would be written over here. See, MA143 engineering mathematics, the subject name, this is the name of subject, this is subject code, and this is the name of the subject. And JRP is the short form for Jimit Patel. So Jimit Patel sir would be taking this lecture. Same way, there should be some other lecture where the faculty would be different. For an example, this one. See, the subject code is still same, MA143, but the name of faculty is changed to PRM. That means this lecture on Tuesday during second slot or 10:20 to 11:10, your lecture would be taken by Pragnesh Makwana. Okay, so make sure you follow this timetable, this time slot. All faculties would be following this timetable. For an example, today is Thursday, and we are having lecture of W145. So during 10:20 to 11:10. So I would be starting at 20:20 because you have a lecture before that and after that as well. So make sure you follow your time slots. Okay, clear? I hope you are clear now how to read your timetable and how to use Teams. There are so many features in the Teams. I'll show you one by one what are the different features. We'll go through that as well. But I hope you are clear on the timetable, how to follow the timetables. I need some 2-3 replies.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Om, you want to say something? Okay. How to chat, live chat in your meeting? That's good point. Yes, Om, you have raised the hand. Do you have any doubts? Om Raval, roll number 2.
No, no, sir. I have just attended, so I raised my hand.
Okay, no issue. Nothing.
Hmm.
Okay, so now let me introduce myself. First of all, let me welcome you all to Charleston University, and you are going to be engineers after 4 years from computer department. You belong to DevStar branch, and I am basically the faculty of CSPIT, Chandubhai S. Patel Institute of Technology, and I have I have my degree in BTech, MTech Electrical, and I belong to Electrical Department in CSPIT. And I would be taking the lectures for BEEE for your division throughout this semester. Okay. We will be having 3 lectures per week, and later on when you come to college, you will be having a lab session of 2 hours as well. So total there would be 5 hours of teaching per week for this subject. During this 5 hours, 3 hours would be for lecture and 2 hours for your lab, something like this. Let me start a screen sharing once again. Okay, I hope you are able to see this. So this is basically a teaching scheme. You will be having 3 hours of lecture and 2 hours of practical work. Right now, for initial 2-3 weeks, there won't be any practical, but later on, we will introduce the practical. Okay, now your marking, your theory exam would be carrying total of 100 marks. Your practical would be carrying total of 50 marks. You have to perform here, you will be having a viva, you have to submit some manuals or some report work or something, record book, something like that you have to submit, or either it can be a presentation as well. But for that 50 mark, you have to do some task. And for this 100 mark, it's subdivided into 2 parts, being an internal component and external component. Your internal component is having weightage of 30 marks. So you'll be having a 30 marks internal and 70 mark is for external. Now from this 30 marks is again subdivided in multiple way. But basically that would be given by your faculties. So that 30 mark will carry 2 internal exams, some quiz, some assignments, some attendance part. So that all that components combinedly will formulate the 30 marks, and the remaining 70 marks for your theory would be coming from directly external exam paper, which would be having a 3 years of exam, written exam, and you have to appear in that exam, and then you'll get marks out of the 70 in that case. Same way for practical, this 50 carrying 25 components, 25 for external exam and 25 for internal. From internal, you will be having a practical, your lab work, your viva, or you can say quiz during your regular practical classes, and other 25 marks would be given to you based on your external viva performance and your practical work, what you perform on exam day. Okay, so total you have a 4 credit, 5 hours of week teaching and 4 credit for this subject. Okay, total 150 marks of your examination. So you'll be getting this in your mark sheet. Okay, now let us see what is the course of this subject, BEEE basically. So the course of the BEEE, open the syllabus first. Okay, so this is the course of BEEE. This course is basically designed by Electrical Engineering Department of CSPIT, but we are under the same roof, that is Faculty of Technology and Engineering. Be it a CSPIT or be it a DevStar, we come under this roof. This is our faculty of Technology and Engineering, and this is Department of Electrical Engineering. The course name, correct name of the course is this: Basics of Electronics and Electrical Engineering. The acronym is BEEE. Okay. The subject code is WE145, and this is again the same teaching scheme that I just showed you. Okay. This is the examination scheme: internal, external, practical. There is a passing criteria as well. To pass in these exams, there is a passing criteria. We'll discuss that criteria later on. And this is your course outline. So what you are going to learn from this subject is basically the part of the studies you have already completed during your 12th, I guess. So basically, the content of this subject is this: basics of electrical terms and units. For an example, you have studied Ohm's law, you have studied your amperes, voltages, what is power, what is energy. You have known what is AC, what is DC. That all parts will be coming under this basic terms and units. Okay, let me go through the detailed course rather, it would be better. Yeah, I hope it is visible. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basic electrical terms and units. So in this unit, this is unit 1. In this unit, we are going to study Ohm's law. What is resistor? How resistor codings is done? What are the properties of the material? What is temperature effect on the resistor or any other material? Then resistance variation with temperature, and we are going for examples on this temperature coefficients. So this is basically your first unit. In second unit, you have electrical circuit analysis, where we will study KCL and KVL, series parallel circuits, and star delta transformation. This is unit 2. Here we will be having examples. Basically, we are going to study these circuits with resistor and combination of series and parallel with resistors. No inductor, no capacitor for these studies. Probably you have studied this KCL, KVL as well. Then the third unit is electrostatics, where we are going to discuss on capacitors, charge and voltages, like how the capacitor charge, what are the voltage levels of the capacitor, what is capacitance, what is the electrical field, what is the effect of electrical field on various materials, electrical field strength, its density, relative permittivity. This term might be relative permittivity, dielectric strength. So this all terms are related to with this capacitors and how capacitor works. Then we'll see, here we have studied the resistor, we have studied the different parts of circuits using resistor. Now we'll introduce a capacitor in circuit as well. So we'll study capacitor in parallel and series, calculations of capacitance, how capacitance is calculated, what is the effect of capacitance on circuit. We are going to study that. Then there is a chapter of electromagnetics. So this is statics, electrostatics, where we are discussing about the charge particles. And this magnetism is something different. This is the effect, magnetic effect produced by your current. So what is magnetic field? What is direction? What is characteristic of magnetic field? What is magnetic flux? Flux density, magnetomotive force, that we know is MMF. Magnetic field strength and its example. Basically, I guess you have studied the motor. Motor ભણ્યા છો ને બધા 12th standard માં. 12th માં મોટર ભણ્યા છો છોકરાઓ તમે?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
બરાબર ને? So basically that motors come from this part, electromagnetism. You have a coil in between a magnetic field. Whenever you rotate that coil in magnetic field, some flux will be generated across the coil, and that potential would be generated rather, and due to that motor will. Now there are some other laws of electromagnetism, that is a Faraday's law, Fleming's left-hand rule, Lenz's law. So we are going to study all these laws, and then at the end we'll study self and mutual inductance, the magnetic effect of one conductor and other conductor, interaction of two conductor magnetic fields. We are going to study that. Then comes the fifth unit, that is SC fundamentals, alternating current fundamentals. So basically we use alternating current appliances at our home. For an example, your motor, your fan, your tube light, all the instrument works on your AC. So we are going to learn what is AC current, what is actually AC current or AC voltage or AC power, you can say, and what is the frequency. Basically AC is defined in frequency, and what is that frequency and what would change if we change the frequency. We are going to study that, and we are also going to study that how to calculate the average and RMS value of the AC, and we are going to have different waves of your AC, and we will have some example based on this average and RMS values of AC fundamental. Then we have single phase AC circuits where we are going to combine your resistor with inductor and capacitor, and combinedly will form the circuits, and how the circuits behave we are going to study in series, in parallel, what is resonance, and how you can use it, what is the application of resonance. We are going to study that. Resonance is very wonderful phenomena, and you can have your like what I can say radio, FM radio depends on belongs to this phenomena, resonance. Then polyphase circuits. We are going to study polyphase circuit. Polyphase circuit is basically more than single phase, like two phase, three phase, four phase is polyphase. Basically, we are going to three phase circuit. Three phase is advantageous, so we are going to three phase circuits. What is phase sequence, voltage, current relation in star and delta connected system. And at the end, we are going to electronics. This all 7 units are electrical, pure electrical, and the last one is electronics. In electronics, we are going to study amplifiers and the current voltage parameters, gain parameters of electronic amplifier. Then we are going to study analog and digital signals. Then we are going to study PN junction diode, Zener diode, half wave, full wave rectifier. And at the end, we are going to study transistor. So this is the outline of your course. I will share this course, this whole document with you. Okay, let me share it right now. I'll show you how I'm going to share it and where you are going to access it. Okay, see, this is my document and this is my team. This is your class EE145 BEEE DC1 general. Okay, now whenever you come to this class, you can see there are different tabs over here. Are you able to see this tab? See, this first tab is posts, where every class schedule, every meeting schedule would be here. If I give some instruction, that would be appearing over here. Then there is a files tab. So you can go to files tab, and I'm going to put it over here. So in class materials, I'll put the syllabus. Okay. So I'll put this syllabus here. Once I upload it here, you can come in file section, go to class material, and you will be seeing this syllabus. Whenever you want to download it, you can go in the options and you can download the syllabus, or you can access it at any time. This is on server. You can access the syllabus at any time. The other way, if I do not share it over here, the other ways of sharing is from here. I can share it from here as well. Let me show you that how it will appear. After the this meet over, you can see that. Okay, I'm going to share something from here. Okay. Sharing EE145 syllabus. And I'll share it here. So whenever a new post is there, it would appear in the last, or it would appear first, I can say. So whenever I post something, whether it be a syllabus, it be other material, a quiz, an assignment, any material I share would be appearing at this tab inside your class in general tab. So in general tab, like again, you have more sections. This file section is basically useful to share materials or some other stuff. Then this is a class notebook. We are not going to class right now. Then there is assignments. Whenever I create assignment, you would be having a quiz type of assignment, or you have to write something in your notebook and upload it over here. So that all the assignments would be appearing in this assignments category. Other than that, if I post some assignment, it would be appearing over here as well. Let me show you here an example. So this is an assignment. This is how it looks. Okay, assignment practical one, assignment, and then you will get this button. If you click this button, you'll be able to see that what is inside the assignment to submit that assignment. So that tabs are useful in that way. This is the general overview of your teams and how you can use your teams. We have already completed this. What are the parts of syllabus? You have the knowledge of how the examination would be conducted. What are the marking scheme? What are the various exams or various tasks that you have to complete to get this marks? Now, if you have any doubts related to the course or related to teaching methodology, you can raise the doubts and stop the screen sharing. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask the doubts. Yeah, anyone have any doubts related to course or how we'll move forward in this course?
Sir,
Yeah, please go ahead.
sir, this course will be completed in first semester or first and second semester.
This course would be having a one semester. This is a one semester course, so this course will complete in the first semester only, and at the end of the first semester, external exam, and in second semester we will have different course other than this. So this would be
Okay,
only a one semester course.
okay, thank you, sir.
Total 45 hours of teaching in theory and 30 hours of practicals. Total 75 hours.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Any other doubts? Okay, now I have some questions for you. You have to answer me. Mitul, the exam, don't worry about the exam right now. We'll share the academic calendar with you. Your respective department will share your academic calendar with you, and then you can see the academic calendar. The one more question is from Sanskruti. Do we have to buy any books? No, Sanskruti, as of now, you do not have to buy any books. Later on, whenever it would be required, you can buy the books if you want, or we have a library in the institute at the university level. Library is there, and from that university library, you can access the books. The books are already available in the library. But if you want your own copy, you can buy it, no issue. There would be 2 or 3 books for this course. The practicals, it depends whether the government allows the student to come to campus or not. Depending on that, we'll complete the practical examinations. We can have a virtual experiment if you are at your home. You are not allowed to come to college. In that case, we can have a virtual exam. Like we have a virtual laboratory platform, different virtual laboratory platforms, and we can perform over there. So that part is on us. So don't worry about the examination If you come to campus, there would be examination, practical examination. Definitely, you have to perform on the real kits or real hardware. But if you are not able to join the institute, in that case, the exam will be held and you have to perform through some other ways. That will be decided and shared by us. No issue with that. Yeah. Any other question? Migraj, let us first start the theory classes. Then we'll see what we can do with the practicals. We'll share the videos of the practical. Each and every practical will share the video, how we take the reading. And if you join the campus, you can perform that practicals one more time here on yourself. Savan, your question is what should I know before starting studying of this subject? Don't worry, Savan. Basically, we'll start from scratch. Most probably, we'll starting from scratch. If you just know what is the current and what is the voltage, that's more than enough for me. Sir, do we have any small exams between final exam? Yes, Vivek, we will be having 2 internal exam carrying 30 marks of weightage. And other than that, we will have a quiz time to time after each chapter. Once you complete one unit, we'll have a small quiz of 10, 15 or 20 marks after each chapter. So every 1.5 week we'll have a quiz. 4-5 lectures of teaching and then you will have a quiz. The quiz might be a quiz surprise during the lecture hours only. And some would be the schedule quiz like you've been knowing earlier. So what is the timing? Yes, any other questions? Okay, one more thing. If you have any query related to this course or you want to communicate with me, Savan, should we make books during one? Savan, you are asking like you have to prepare your note. Am I correct, Savan?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, you can make your note. It totally depends on you. If you can memorize like single time, like if you see the lecture and if you recall it at any point of time, in that case you won't require any notes. From my side, I do not require any note, but it depends on you. If you want to prepare a note, you can do it. If you do not want it, you can prepare it. That depends on you. But personally, I suggest that each and every student should prepare a note. So that would be helping in the study at the exam time. Kishan, you have a question, is material provided by the college? Which material? Kishan, I need some more clarification on the question.
For reading and for making the notes.
Whenever I teach you from some PPT or some documented material, in that case, I can share that material with you. Other than that, for self-practice, you can refer books. No material will be provided directly to you. Like in form of like you just have to read this and you will get passed an exam. No material, no such material will be provided. But whatever I use during the lecture hours, that would be provided to you. And if you require to refer any book, I'll let you know that you require to refer so and so book time to time. Yeah, anything else? Okay, so now, as you do not have any more doubts, we can start with lecture. Rather, we have very few minutes left. So rather starting with lecture, what I'll do is I'll ask some question and I need some replies. Anyone can answer, no issue. Just raise your hand. I'll let you know that you can speak now. Okay. So my first question is, you must have studied 12th physics. So you would be knowing the terminology like Ohm's law, voltage, current. You would be knowing what is electron, what is ampere, what is resistor, capacitor and inductor. So I'm asking the question from these topics. Okay. So my first topic is, what is current? Yeah, anyone can answer this question. What is the current? Yes, Mehul, go ahead.
And current is a flow of electron which travels from positive to the negative charge.
Okay. Anyone else? Raj, you can speak.
Amount of charge flown per unit time, sir.
Okay. Jay, you want to add something?
No, sir, I want to say same thing. The rate of flow of charge per unit time.
Okay. Ansh. Ansh, you want to
Sir, I'm
speak?
audible?
Yeah.
It is a flow of a electron.
Flow of an electron. Okay, you can say that. The exact definition differs from like book to book or like mentality to mentality, but basic idea is the flow of electron. That's the current. You are correct. Okay. Now the second question is, what is voltage or what is a potential difference? If you can explain the potential difference with an example, I would be happy. Yeah, anyone? What is the potential? Voltage, what is voltage difference? Yes, Jay.
To bring a particle from infinite to a given point,
You require some potential.
to bring a point particle from infinite to a given point
To a
is
given point. Okay, correct. Can you give a example of how you can say there is a potential difference here? There is a wonderful real-time example related to this, or any other student can help him. What is the potential? Potential is basically something that having the capacity to do some task or to do some work. For an example, if you have a water tank at your home or water tank at your locality, so there is a water at certain amount of height. So that height, due to that height, that water contains some potential energy. That potential, it is a potential. It can do some work. So whenever you open a tap that would be at lower than that height, the water will flow. That flow is basically a current, you can say. So that is actually a potential. Okay. Now, what is a resistor? Yeah, I'm lowering your hand. If you want to answer one more time, you can raise a hand again. Yes, anyone, what is a resistor? Before the resistor, let us say what is resistance?
Opposition of current flow in an electric circuit is basically known as resistance.
Resistance, okay. Anyone else?
A device that does not allow electric current to flow through it freely in a circuit.
Correct. And what is resistor? That is the resistance. What is resistor?
On a resistance.
Sorry?
A device which produces resistance.
Hmm. Can you come again? What was that? What is resistor?
An electrical component that reduces current flow.
Okay, we can say that. Anyone else? Okay. So today, it seems you know so many things about this physics of electrical, or you can say basics of electrons and the voltage, current, resistor. So that first chapter would be very easy for you, and we'll start the lectures from tomorrow. Like actual lectures will start from tomorrow. As if someone has to join this class, they can join late, like by today. If some people are remaining, they can join today, and we'll actually start the lectures from tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll start with Ohm's law, or the definition of voltage, current, and Ohm's law. We'll start from that point. That is for of your syllabus. Okay. And other than that, one more important thing. If you want to communicate with me, if you have any doubts or you want to convey some message to me, you can do that using Teams. You even don't require my phone number. Using Teams, you can contact me directly. Anyone know how to do that, or I'll show you?
By
Just
clicking on your ID, and we have your.
correct. Okay, you just have to remember my name. My name is Jignesh Patel. Okay, I'm sharing the screen and how you can communicate with someone. I will show you. See here, you can have a chat box. There is an option to chat. Go there. I'll click on this. Okay. And here you can start a chat with anyone. Like you can see your contacts as well. These are my contacts that I have saved. Other than that, if I want to start chat, I can directly type my name. For an example, my colleague is Jigar Sharda, so I can write Jigar Sharda here. Or there is a Mihir, so I can write Mihir here. So I'll open this. You click on this, and here you will see his tab is open, like Mihir Kumar Patel, and here you can see type a new message. So I can type a new message here. I can type anything. Hey, Mihir, this is news. Okay. And I'll press enter. So same way your WhatsApp, a message will be delivered to Mihir in his Teams, and you can chat like WhatsApp. So me and Mihir can chat like WhatsApp from here. Okay. Other than that, if you want to call me, you can have a call, audio call, or a video call from here. That would be a personal video call between me and Mihir. If I call right now, it would be a personal call between me and Mihir. Same way I can call to Mihir on a video call as well. Okay, right now I can do that because I am already in meeting, so I can do that right now. But you can use these features to contact me. Okay, just type Jignesh Patel. My email ID would be jigneshpatel.ee@charosat.org, and you'll see it like here. The photo would also appear here. So you can directly communicate with me over there, or else I'll post my number in the chat box here. Okay, you can contact me through phone as well, but make sure you communicate or you contact me in working hours. If you want to call, if you want to text, you can do it like 7 or 8 p.m. You can do it. 9978. This is my personal number. Contact me over here. Anything else? Any other doubts? Okay, so I'll call off this meeting. Your first lecture is completed here. You can leave and join me tomorrow at the requested time. Yes, Chintan. Chintan, do you have any doubt? Okay, so you can leave this meeting. Even I'll share my number in the general channel. So don't worry about it. If you can write down the number from here, I'll share it in general channel. No issue. You can leave this meeting. Download